So, as we continue to exhaust the Simple series, it's only necessary to have a look at the Simple DS series. Considering this series had quite the few releases and even had some release in the West, today I have a look at the 7 Simple DS series games that came out in the West. Quality varies, and as always, they could have picked some better games to localize, but that's neither here nor there. There is one game I'm going to be excluding from this list because it's also a part of the Simple 2500 series, which is a PSP series, and I want to feature that game in that video instead. So, anyway, let's dive right in. Known as Simple DS Series Volume 2, the Billiard in Japan and developed by Agenda, Billiard Action is all about the billiards. As to be expected, it's billiards on the go. You can pick which game mode you want, whether it's 9-ball, 8-ball, rotation, cut throw, etc, etc, and even play with a friend. When it comes to the controls, it plays exactly as you'd expect, and reminds me of the pool game I have on my Android phone. You use the stylus to control the cue and how much power you want to use. There is even a button you can press on the touchscreen to switch the screens around depending on how you want to play. Billiards! I don't really know what else to say. It's a billiards game after all, and it plays just fine. Now remember when I said at the beginning about how they could have picked better games to localize? Well, in my opinion, this is one of them. Known as the Simple DS Series Volume 3, the Mushitori Oukoku, Shinshu Hakken, Nokogiri Kabuto, yeah, that's how long the title is, in Japan, and developed by Warishi. You know, the developer of the Mahjong 2 and the Shogi 2 of the Simple 1500 series? Yeah, that Warishi. Beetle King is a game where you capture and collect bugs. And that's it. That's it, shall we move on to the next game, shall we? Okay. You get discovered by some kind of bug king and he sets you on a mission of collecting bugs for the greater good of mankind or something or other. I didn't really like this as the whole game is literally just collecting bugs. And I get that in Japan kids like this sort of thing, but in the West most kids don't like bugs. You know, they want to be collecting Pokemon or something, not bugs. So you go into the woods, spin your stylus around the bugs, and time it so that you catch each bug. And each bug has a rank, and the higher the rank, the harder it is to catch. That's pretty much the gameplay explained right there. Somehow, this game reminds me of Pokemon Ranger. Maybe it's the spinning thing. Once you capture the bugs, you can keep them and stick them in the bug cage, or you can stick them in another machine called the bug, which I call the Bug Gambler. You know, I can't even remember what it's really called in the game, but let's go with Bug Gambler. It's a device where you put 2 bugs into the device, and you gamble them away in the hopes of getting a better bug. And you don't always get a better bug, right? Exciting stuff, huh? Yeah. You can probably tell this game by my voice and the way I sound that this game didn't really have much of an effect on me, and I didn't really like it. It was kind of boring, if I be honest. So of course they had to do a breakout game. Known as the Simple DS Series Volume 4, the block Kuzushi, and also developed by Warishi, Break-A-Mole is the next exciting installment in the block Kuzushi series. So yeah, it's block Kuzushi. You control the paddle with the stylus, and hit the ball into the blocks. There's nothing more else to say on it. That's all I have to say. You thought I was joking? What more was there to say about it? It's fucking block Kuzushi. Anyway, here's a DS port of Party Carnival from the Simple 2000 series. Known as the Simple DS Series Volume 6, the party game in Japan and developed by Hunex. How'd you want to play a collection of mini-games by yourself because there's no chance you'd get a friend to play this with you and it's pretty boring mini-games as well? Yeah, there's quite a few mini-games here, don't get me wrong, but they are rather dull and boring. There is even a slide puzzle minigame, and I believe that says plenty. So it's not a particularly good party game, and I've already spoken about this game, and it's just a port, so I thought I'd mention it anyway in my other video, the Simple 2000 Party Games video I did. So yeah, it's not particularly good. Next is Essential Sudoku DS. Also known as the Simple DS Series Volume 7, the Illust puzzle and Suuji puzzle in Japan, and developed by Digitalware. It's Sudoku. I don't really know how to play this game or Sudoku, so yeah, can't really talk much about it. Next! So we've got a global release next. Super Speed Machines, known as the Simple DS Series Volume 13, you're gonna have to excuse me on this. Ijoukishou wo Tsuppashire, the Arashi no Drift Rally in Japan. And Top Gear Downforce in Australia. I don't know why they linked it to Top Gear in Australia. Don't have no clue on that, but whatever. Also, it's developed by Kemco. You know, the same people that created Crazy Castle. So yeah, this game was released in all the usual territories, and it reminds me of Micro Machines a fair bit. But if they didn't know how to do Micro Machines. You know, remember Micro Machines V3? That was the shit back in the day. This game doesn't know. He don't know fucking nothing. The controls are really floaty, and that really doesn't help. Because when you're trying to go around a corner that you can barely react to, because because of the top-down perspective, you're gonna crash a lot. So I ended up going into the grass a lot, and also the track I played was very badly designed. Like, why are there so many crossroads looking like I could go somewhere just to end up for me to smack into a barrier, because no, I can't go that way. You know, like, there's a mini-map, but you're not looking at the mini-map constantly when you play these racing games. So, yeah, I don't like this. In my opinion, it's not a very good game. If you liked it, fair enough. It pissed me off on the first stage immensely, so I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to play anymore. The last game I'll be looking at today is a licensed movie game. Strange, huh? So, this game came out in the West first, published by D3 Publisher, so I guess it makes sense that D3 would release it in Japan, as part of the Simple DS series, right? This one is Volume 17, and known as the Nezumi no Akushon Geemu, Mausu Tun Rodei to Rita no Daibouken. Yeah, honestly, with these titles, Japan, fuck you. Why is it so long for something that you just translate as flushed away? What a name, right? It was also developed by Art. So I guess this is the mandatory portable release that companies had to do for movies at the time. Nowadays, you'd be lucky for any movie to get a video game to coincide with its release. So, you'd think I would talk about Flushed Away's plot, but you'd be wrong. Nah, I'm joking. I'll give you a summary. Come on. The story is based around an uptown rat that gets flushed down the toilet from his penthouse apartment, ending in the sewers of London, where he has to learn a whole new and different way of life. And that's the film. They get into misadventures and shit, I watched the film a long time ago, and I didn't really think much of it, if I be honest. It was okay at best. So I don't appreciate the animation, obviously, because it's Aardman, but it was not an amazing film. So anyway, that's a brief summary of the plot. Now for the game. Pretty standard platformer with a few mix-ups into the formula of gameplay. You can play as a few different characters, and each stage is based around something from the movie, which is cool. For example, there's a boat level, a puzzle level where you have to escape from being frozen, which I failed. But it's a pretty functional platformer. You even got this, like, slingshot thing you can fire. The female rat has this slingshot thing that she fires, and she can vault across platforms that way. Seems a bit open-ended, the levels as well. You can go, and it's not too bad. It's an okay platformer, I guess. Yeah, it's not too bad. So here we are at the end of the video. I was actually a bit disappointed by the lineup here, to be honest. I feel there was definitely some more interesting games they could have picked besides these. And I know you're probably going to say, but you haven't had a go at those games. I've had a look at the covers and the back of the boxes, and yeah, you know, it looks like there could have been some much more interesting games they could have picked. But, I digress. You know, maybe they were playing it safe. Who knows? But anyway, when I have a look at the Simple series again, it will be looking at some Japanese games from the Simple DS series, so I'll be able to give you my thoughts on those and whether or not they would have been a better choice to localize when I end up doing that video. So stay tuned for that. As always, please like, subscribe, and comment, and thanks for watching. See ya.